Hello!
Welcome everyone.
Welcome to the Winter Vision channel.
And the topic of today is, in the words of Raphael, we don't suffer through it,
we grow through it. Exactly.
Thank you, Raphael. Good word.
A very wise second gen from France. We talked about hardships in life and suffering that everybody has once in a while in their life. And I liked very much what he said, because many times we just tempt to say, just go through it, just go through it. But he said, nope, grow through it. And this is something we also read this morning in Hundoke, and we wanted to share that with you.
Absolutely. A lot of people think that suffering is a very bad thing. Why is it happening to me? Why me? Why me? And they don't understand the purpose of suffering. Actually, we were thinking about this today. The ideal world never included suffering.
Right.
Suffering was never part of the equation. But because we're not ideal people, we're not people who live true love, we have to learn and grow and develop ourselves. And so that's what the purpose of suffering is for. Life happens for you and not to you.
Yeah, that's very true. We expect, to be already ideal people. God originally did not want to have any suffering in the world. He just wanted us to be happy. But because we have still fallen nature in ourselves and we have to overcome that, many times we are having problems, we are struggling with something, we are suffering from, disease physically, spiritually, whatever. And it's not something where God wants to maybe challenge us or giving us a hard time just for the sake of having a hard time. No, this is an opportunity for us to really grow and expand our heart. This is so important to understand the kind of attitude that we have in that kind of situation. Don't feel judged or don't feel unloved because someone wants to give us a hard time, but see it as an opportunity for you to really expand your heart and overcome the limitations that you have right now.
That's right, that's good. In the Buddhist faith and Eastern religion, they talk about the person who's awakened is the person who recognizes that suffering happens to us because we are creating suffering for ourselves. If you fight against the lessons life wants to teach you, you will always suffer. But if you recognize what suffering is for, is to develop you, to make you the person you're supposed to become, a better person. Reverend Moon talks about everyday living to such a way that expand the limitations of your heart.
Right.
This is what we have to do every day. We have to welcome suffering, embrace suffering, because when you embrace it, it doesn't become suffering anymore.
And it's
choose to suffer.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity for you to grow. And really, I want to mention this again because when I talk sometimes with other people, I remember very well that Christians and Muslims, friends of mine, they said, what did I say this morning? Suffering is necessary to appreciate the good.
And people get upset when they hear that.
Yeah, they get upset. And I want to see it from a different perspective, I don't want to, because again, the world like it is today was not supposed to be like that. We made mistakes and we have to restore it, to the original one. And what does it mean, original? Original means to have a loving heart towards other people and to support and love each other. This is what we have to restore. And restoration means nothing else than develop our heart and our character to become this kind of person. If we would live in this kind of world today already, then suffering wouldn't be necessary. But we have to become that kind of person of love and care, and that includes growing and expanding, and really try to see it as an opportunity, embrace it, be still grateful, don't turn away from God or be upset. There's a very interesting and beautiful Bible story, I think you want to share? That you explained to me when God, there was the Son of God who had everything, and then God slowly took everything away from him, and then Satan challenged him and said, what else? And then everything was away, and he still kept with God, and so God gave him everything.
The story of Job.
Yeah.
The story of Job was that God loved Job and gave him so much blessing just because God has this desire to love his children. And one day Satan goes to God and says, hey, the only reason this man loves you is because you give him so much blessing. Take away all his blessings, and the man will curse you and will not love you. And God says, okay, go for it, take it away. So his wife leaves him, his children are sick, and they end up dying from being sick, and he loses everything he owns. And the man becomes plagued with a sickness and is a beggar on the street. And not once does this man complain to God and say, I hate you, why did you do this to me? He says, I don't understand why this happens, but I love you no matter what.
Wow, that's strong.
I mean, it's a very big, strong story, but this proved that this man really loved God just because he understand who he was in the world, you know? He understand that his source is God, and no matter what happens to him, you give or you take away, it doesn't matter, you're still God. And God was able to now reward him even greater than before.
Yeah.
So recognize what suffering is for, you know?
Yeah.
And it's normal to complain while we're suffering. I mean, look at a baby. The baby is born. You and I were babies. We grew up as children only thinking about me. And as we grew up, we learned about others, and how we can live in such a way to help other people.
Right.
This is maturity. Love is for the sake of others. You cannot say you love somebody unless you give yourself completely for that person.
Right.
Anyways, that's the story today. Thanks for listening to us.
Yeah.
We love you. We believe in you. Every day, do something to reach past your limitations. Become the best you can be for yourself. Life is short. Enjoy.
Enjoy and use opportunities to grow. Enjoy it. Yeah. Embrace it. And we wish you lots of success. And if you want to share something with us, feel free to do so. And please visit our website. It's getting more and more ready and excited. It's
very exciting.
It's createthelifeyoulove.ml, and ML stands for my life.
My life.
It's your life, and you are the owner. You are the designer, and to design it whatever way you want it. And you are the only person who can do that. So you have the power. Really, you have the power. You're a very powerful person. We believe in you, and visit our website.
All right, this is off.
This is